episode 1151 of the Multifamily Collective. Today I wanted to talk about how mood follows action. And forgive the attire, we're doing weekend episode bulk recording, but mood follows action. If you think about that as it relates to your day and your energy levels throughout the day and how that impacts your mood. In other words, if let's say you wake up and you're grumpy, okay? Most of us probably wake up and we're grumpy. And one of the first actions that we take on the heels of waking up has the ability to impact our mood either positively or negatively. Just by way of example, and this is not to suggest that this is the way you should wake up every morning, but when I wake up in the morning, the very first thing that I do is walk to the kitchen at a brisk pace, and I've already made it up the night before, a 32-ounce bottle of water with beet juice and a high level of vitamin C powder and another little tablet that I put in the water. And then I make a cup of coffee that includes butter and MCT oil. And then I consume all of that liquid, so to speak, the water, very first thing that I consume, and then the coffee I drink slow, obviously because it's hot, but a little bit slower than the water that I consume. But anyway, the action of briskly walking to the kitchen, consuming that 32 ounces of water immediately and fairly rapidly, and then coffee on the heels of that creates a mood for me that more times than not is more positive in nature than it is negative in nature. So I'm just giving you that as an example. Another example might be if you find yourself triggered, you're in an emotionally loaded situation, you're triggered, you know that whatever comes out of your mouth next or whatever actions you take next are probably not going to be productive, then an action that you might take would be to ask for a timeout in the conversation. That might sound juvenile or elementary in nature, but asking for a timeout, admitting that you feel a little bit overloaded, and asking to take a 10-minute break, and then committing to coming back to a conversation is an action that determines or predicates a mood adjustment, right? If you're able to get away from a situation where you feel triggered or emotionally loaded, and you're able to take a 10-minute break and do some breathing exercises or go for a walk or whatever it is that gets you back down here, then your mood will change, right? It doesn't mean your mood's going to not go back up when you get back into that conversation that is emotionally loaded, but your mood really does follow your actions. So you can be intentional throughout the day from the time you wake up in the morning until the time you go to bed. You can be very intentional about your moods. If you find yourself in a sour mood, there are things that you can do in terms of action that will influence or move that mood into a different state. So that's my encouragement to you today. Just remember the principle: mood follows action. And when you feel hijacked, go take an action that'll change that mood. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.